Hello, y'all. It is Ocho here to talk to you about the musical alphabet and the piano. Crazy COVID time. It is kind of awkward teaching online, but hey, it is what it is. So the first thing that you need to know about music, the first foundation is the musical alphabet, and it's the first 7 letters of the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So right here, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And it's just this continual loop that happens over and over and over again. So just make sure you get that memorized, that's in your brain. First 7 letters of the alphabet. We're going to find out where these letters are on the piano. So when you see a piano, there's the white keys and there's the black keys. And it's really important because without the black keys, you wouldn't really know what the white keys are. So it's really important to pay attention to how the black keys are grouped. And you can you see how they're grouped? They're grouped in 2s and 3s. I like calling them the twins and the triplets. So right here, I'm a very visual person, so this may or may not make sense to you, but I look at the one that has like the twins, and I make a little like house out of it, and there's a little dog house right there, door thing right there. And I say that the dog is in the doghouse. Yes? So, knowing the musical alphabet on the piano, when we go towards the left, the pitches get lower and we go backwards in the alphabet. And when we go towards the right of the piano, the pitches get higher and they also go forward in the alphabet. So, if this is D, what's next in the alphabet? It would be E. Next up would be F. And then G, and what comes after G in the musical alphabet? We have G right here, and it loops back down, boop, to A. So this is A, the next one would be B, and then we have C, and then we're back to D. And do you notice how, once again, the dog is in the doghouse? It's always will be the same. That's one thing I love about music, it's very consistent. So if this one is D right here, what letter would this be? C. And it just continues over and over and over again forever. So you only really need to memorize one pitch because you can just figure out the rest by using the alphabet. So if you memorize the dogs in the doghouse, or you can think like the ones with the 3 lines like a bigger house. Like you go through I like saying here's a really ginormo house. You go through the front door. So pretend there's a front door right here. Go through the front door. And then you go across and out the back. I don't know if that works for you. So you go through the front door, go across the house, and out the back door. If that doesn't make sense and doesn't work for you, it's okay. I've heard that before. Doesn't really work well for me, but that is okay. So you're like, Ocho, what do you call those black keys? Each black key has 2 names, which is kind of tricky. I'm going to get rid of this little housey so I can write it. So this note right here, this black key right here, can either be called a type of C pitch, or it can be called a type of a D pitch, okay? So, whenever you have a black key that is to the right or higher on the piano, so we're calling this pitch a D, so this one right here, so as you go down the black pitch, it would be called a flat, and a flat looks like this. So it would be D flat. And then this one, we have a letter C right here, and this pitch is higher than the C, so we call it C sharp. That might be a little bit weird. So these going from C to C sharp, it is called a half step. So going from C, I'll show you the piano real quick. I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if I can flip the camera. Nope, can't flip the camera. So going from C to C sharp is a half step. It kind of sounds like the Jaws theme. So that's the half step right there. Going up a whole step is 2 half steps. So going from C to D is a whole step on the piano. So that's the difference between a whole step and a half step. Oop, let's go back, put the camera back where it was. So that's how you name those. Right here, this key, do we want to make a guess as to what that is? It's the first black key of the triplets. Let's pause and make a good guesstimate. Okay, so right here, we know that this pitch is F, right? Because this is E, and this pitch next to it is G. So the G pitch would be G flat, because it goes down by a half step, it goes down. Da, 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 da. It goes down by a half step, so it's G flat. And then the sharp name would be F sharp. Does that make sense? I hope it does. If not, come bug me. Yes, so on the piano right here, if I were to go from this pitch right here, hope you can see this, to this pitch right here, which is the letter A to the letter B, because we have the triplets right here, make sure it's the reverse. There's twins here, triplets here. Can you tell me if this is a whole step or a half step? So from here, you have 1, 2. You have 2 half steps, so that would be a whole step. If I were to go from this key right here to this key right here, which is what letter? D up to E sharp. So this is, sorry, E flat, excuse me. Or D sharp, whichever one floats your boat. Is that a whole step or a half step? It's a half step. Okay? Does that make sense? And they sound very distinct. A whole step, it's like you're saying do, re. Half steps, da, 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 da. So a whole step, half step. So they're really close together, but that's like the foundation of the music. Foundation of music, really. So this is what we went over. The musical alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It loops forever, be able to go forward and backwards in the alphabet, up and down. With the piano, there are both white keys and black keys. Pay attention to the twins and the triplets. In the doghouse, the dog is in the doghouse. It's just in between the two black keys. And then you just go up the alphabet when you go towards the right. And once you get to G, it always loops back to A. And then goes all the way up. And so be able to go up and down and do that. And when you have a black key, it has two names, friends. So this one right here would be G sharp and then A flat. Hope that makes sense. So going from F to F sharp is a half step because you're going right to the next note. Oh, trick question right here. Going from B to C on the piano. Is that a whole step or a half step? What do you think? It's actually a half step. The reason why, do you notice how there's no black key in between these two notes? So it's a half step right there. Same thing with going from E to F. There's no black key right there. So that's a natural half step. If you go from this key to this key, C sharp, D sharp, oops, C sharp, D sharp, that is a whole step. Hope that makes sense. If not, come bug me during class or during async time or whatever, and we'll make it work. Love y'alls. Happy learning. Yay.